Hello everyone, and today we're going to change out our spark plugs for our Ford Fusion. So let's get started. And of course the very first step, let's go ahead and pop the hood. And then we'll work our way to the front, and on the driver's side there's going to be a little yellow latch. We're going to pull it towards the passenger side, and then lift our hood up. And now let's verify the engine is warm. We don't want it hot, and we don't want it cold, just a little warm. So for our very first step, let's remove our engine cover. And this is probably the easiest step. All you got to do is pull it upward, and it should pop right off. And we'll set that aside. Next, we're going to focus by removing the air cleaner outlet pipe, just so we have access to those other spark plugs. And the first thing we'll start with is our vent tube, and this just snaps right off, and we'll set that aside. Next, let's loosen up the two pipe clamps. There's one on each side, so grab a 7mm socket and just loosen these up. So there's one, and we'll make sure that's nice and loose. Pull that apart. Yep, feels pretty good. We'll go to the other side. This is towards the filter, and you'll see another clamp. Same thing, 7mm. We just want to loosen it, not take it off completely. And we'll verify it's loose. And a little bit wiggle. Yeah, I think that'll work right there. So this is already disconnected. Now go towards the center of the pipe. You're going to see a bolt. Let me zoom in real quick. Now we have just a plain Jane bolt there that looks like it was just added later. But this should be a stud bolt that uses a 10mm socket and socket wrench. So same thing though. We just go ahead and loosen this up and take it out completely. And I'll try to do it without dropping it. And that will do. Let me back the camera out so you can see what we're doing. Now we can remove the air cleaner pipe. So it's already dislodged from the air filter side. Let me get it from the other side. Very nice. Pull it upward and just set that aside. And now for our main event, we can start on the spark plugs. So first, let's disconnect the ignition coil connector. And then we'll grab our 8mm socket and socket wrench, and let's remove the ignition coil bolt. And this comes out fairly easy. That looks pretty good. And now we take out the ignition coil, so you gotta get a little twist and pull upward. Looks like it's in good condition, no cracks. That's a good sign. And right before we remove the spark plug, we want to make sure the area is clean. This is the well as well as the area around it. We don't want any dust or debris falling in there once we take the spark plug out. That would be bad. And we'll do a quick inspection. I'll bring my camera in with a flashlight. Looking at it, it looks pretty good. And there's no oil or any other residue in there. That's a really good sign. I think we can work with that. So let's grab our 5/8 spark plug socket and our extension. And we're going to put it right on that spark plug, push it down, and then loosen it up. That was a little tight, but that still felt pretty good, not too much. And this does have quite a few threads, so this may take a second. And by the way, I do apologize about the glare. We have this winter sun, and it's not really helping. Alright, so it looks like it feels loose. Let me get a few more turns. There we go. Came out. And let's take a quick look at the spark plug, see what condition it's in. So try to focus my camera in. It's a little dirty, but overall, the spark plug actually looks pretty good. But since we're here, let's go ahead and change it out to a new one. So I have these new NGK ones, and we're going to do a quick inspection of them real quick. So good thing is, it looks new, looks pretty good. And the other thing we need to check the gap. Now these come pre-gapped, however, it's always a good idea just to check it beforehand. And we're going to verify this using a gap gauge. So we're going to start with the lowest setting first, and then slide it till it cannot slide anymore. You don't want to force it, you just want to wait till it's snug. So let me bring the camera in and see if I can go ahead and focus it. And it looks like it's right at 0.03 inches, which is right in spec. And this is right from the owner's manual, so that's great. So far so good. Let's take that same spark plug, put in our spark plug socket. We're going to lower it down right in the well, and we're going to try to do as gently as possible without scraping the sides. And you're going to want to thread this by hand very gently. If you feel any tension, you're probably cross-threading it and you want to restart. But it felt pretty good. So now I got nice and snug. We're going to torque this down to 106 inch-pounds. Not foot-pounds, inch-pounds. And that felt pretty good. Now we've got our socket stuck in there, so we'll give it a little wiggle. Come on. It's getting loose. There we go. So now we have all our tools accounted for. Let's move forward by installing our ignition coil. And this just presses right in. And you can add dielectric grease if you'd like. We did a little bit off camera. And let's grab some blue thread locking compound. This is medium strength. And we're going to add just a little bit right on that bolt for the ignition coil. We don't want this vibrating free. And this is medium strength, so it will come off with a little bit of extra pressure. And it looks like it's snugged up, so let's torque it down to 71 inch-pounds. And one more. There we go. And now we can reconnect our ignition coil connector, and it just slides right in. Perfect. So it looks like we have one down, and we're going to repeat the exact same steps for the last three. with our last step done on that spark plug, we're all done. So let's put everything back together. Let's install that air cleaner pipe. So I'll try to line it in the same way we took it off. And we're just pretty much sliding everything back in order. So bear with me. Get it on the air cleaner box. Very nice. Okay, looks like everything's fitting nice and snug. Next, we'll secure it down by installing our stud bolt. Now this one I'm going to throw some medium strength thread locker and use a 10mm socket and socket wrench. And then we'll torque it down to 80 inch-pounds. Now we're almost done, so let's tighten up and torque these pipe clamps. And right now you can do it to where it's snug, but we'll go ahead and do it by textbook, so it's 44 inch-pounds. So there's one right there. Now let's go ahead and reconnect our vent tube as well. That snaps right in. Perfect. And our last clamp, snug it up, and then torque it at 44 inch-pounds. Everything's good and tight. And lastly, our engine cover. All we gotta do is line it up, snap it in, so just give it a push down. And that feels pretty good. Very nice. And of course, anytime you do work to your vehicle, we're gonna go ahead and test start it and see if there's any check engine lights or any issues. So bear with me. And again, I do apologize about the glare. It's rough. So of course, turn your vehicle on. And we're going to let everything power up. We just want to make sure there's no check engine lights and everything sounds good. So I brought the camera in just to get the glare out of it. It's really irritating. And hood, engine, door. There we go. And that one warning is the door open, so bear with me 1 second. And there we go. Close the door, so that should just make it a little easier. So everything looks pretty good. No check engine lights. Everything sounds nice. All right. Well, if you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe.